Hey guys, what's up? It's Seth with In Demand Career. I show people how to get jobs in digital marketing with no previous experience or education, which is very relevant to my very special guest today, Nick Battles. And Nick is one of my very successful students who started with absolutely no knowledge. And I'm actually going to ask Nick about his job transition during COVID, as well as his path from no experience to where he is today. So welcome, Nick. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Seth, man. It's just an honor to just be on here, man. To have seen a testimonial like 3 years ago. Like, wow, what's this? Is this going to work for me to actually being one? It's just amazing.
I'm very happy. I'm happy for you, man. And Nick and I actually met in person in New York in 2018.
Yep.
And I've always shared what a treasure and a treat it is to meet my students in person. So I want to start out. I want to give people a real sense of what's possible by sharing your entire story. But I do want to start with where you're at right now, because you did something very, very unusual. If I recall correctly, I believe you quit your job and changed jobs during COVID. Is that true?
So yes, that is true. I was at my job for almost 2 years, and it was my first big agency job. After like going through a course and like getting in, I loved the job, but I just felt like my value, I was like devalued. So I love the people there and I love them, but I just wasn't getting what I wanted out of it. I know my worth. And like, I just said, you know what, I'm going to change jobs. Very risky during COVID, but because I know my worth and because the skill is so in demand, it was possible. And it literally went from, I quit on the 12th of April 12th. And I had all these, mind you, I never once filled out an application. Everything was recruiters. I did 11 interviews. I put my 2 weeks in, and I did 11 interviews in those 2 weeks of being at my new job. And then the lockdown and everything hit on that Monday. So then all the jobs that I had signed up for, a lot of them was like losing like clients because of the whole COVID thing. So then say, oh no, well, it was an immediate position offer, but now because of COVID, we're gonna have to wait another 6 weeks to see who we want to hire. So I'm like, oh wow, maybe I didn't, maybe I chose the wrong time to do it, but I still believed in myself. And one job, actually the most prestigious one, messaged me back, and because their client is a medical client, they actually needed people. So during, like, I went from employed to purposely unemployed to get a job that gave me 12K plus more in the pandemic. Like I'm working there currently now, and I started during COVID, so I've never been to the office before, and I've never met any of my coworkers or my directors, and I'm like in there. Like I'm part of the company, never been there in my life, but might as well I see them every day. I might as well be like I was always there. So it's a blessing, like to be able to do that, not to go not only get a job, but get a job that pays me more in the pandemic.
That's amazing. And just to clarify, I think this happened in March, right? Not April.
So it happened. Yeah, you know what? I left in March, and it was like 3 weeks that went by. And then because I did the interview in March, but I didn't get the job. They ain't coming back until April.
Right.
But
right. So you actually started, just to clarify for people, if you don't remember, like this was happening right when everything was going crazy. This was like the first month.
This is the first, like, this is when it was really, really bad. Like, I quit my previous job, and that was the last day that we was going to the office. They said we're going to start remote on Monday, but Friday was my last day anyway. So this is when it was full panic. But you see, if I didn't believe in myself and I didn't like do all those interviews in the 2 weeks, I would have had to start the process like after I already had left. But because I already did the process, I already did like the 4 different interviews that I had to do for the job that I'm at now. When I got the call back, it was to give me the job rather than like offer me like, let's see how many interviews you need to do to get the job.
Right.
So it's like
right.
I like preemptively like planned everything out. Like I'm going to start doing interviews now, and it just paid off. Because if I was scared and I was like, what if like maybe I shouldn't do this because of the whole pandemic thing, and then I'd be like stuck or trapped at my current job, then I would eventually. And look, they ended up people like got furloughed. A whole lot of stuff happened. So like just taking the chance in myself and believe, and just knowing that like my skill is valued and that like I worked hard, it like somebody recognized that and it paid off.
Absolutely, man. So you said so many great things, because that's what I really encourage people to think that way, especially during a tough time. And you, just to tell people a little bit more about the job that you have now, how much advertising money are you managing at your current job?
So my previous, I'm gonna show you where the previous job was and now where I'm at now. The previous job, I had about 44, I was managing about 44 campaigns, 44 different accounts. Some clients had different accounts within that client, but it was 44 and I was managing 150K. The new job, I have 2 clients and it's almost 1 million in ad spend a month.
Wow. That's
and
amazing.
I didn't get to tell you this, DSF, but it's actually one of the clients that I did the Google ads for at my new job now is for a Netflix series that just launched on Wednesday called Lenox Hill. And I actually wrote all the ads on Google for them too through this.
Really? That's great, man.
Check it out. It dropped on Wednesday. Netflix, Lenox Hill, yeah.
That's amazing. I'm really happy for you. And I think another thing you highlighted that's so important is that there are definitely, obviously, a lot of negative stories and problems happening right now. But there's also industries, like you said, the medical industry, and like look at Netflix. Some of these businesses have more business now. And the important thing is to be like Nick and first of all, have a belief in yourself, have a positive attitude, and focus on the opportunities, not all the shit basically that you're hearing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's amazing that you leveled up, and you were probably overdue for it. It sounds to me like you were overdue and now you're managing about 10 times as much ad spend, and that's $1 million a month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Not throughout not $1 million they have for the rest of the year. Like one of them is 600K a month. And then the other one has multiple accounts that add up almost about 300 and something K. So it's almost about $1 million.
That's amazing, dude. And so let's walk people back to the beginning, because, people see these interviews, these testimonials, and you think, oh my God, how is this really possible? So let's start at what year did you take the course? When did you find out about this field and these skills?
So in 2017, December, I discovered the YouTube videos that's showing your course. I didn't leap yet, but it was in December when I seen it, and I was like, hey, what's this? Like I was currently working. I was a store manager at Metro PCS, and even being a store manager, I was just making $11 an hour. Like so. And I went to college. I got my associates, and then like I was going for psychology, and then like I just realized that like it was like, all right, well you get your bachelor's and then do your PhD because you can't do nothing with your bachelor's. So, and then I see all my other friends like they become firefighters and all this stuff. So I'm like, what's my calling? So when I seen your course, 2017, I was like, yeah, I like it. I'm gonna look at more testimonials and stuff. January 2018, I said, it's a new year. I'm going to try this out. I had the course. I bought it. So that's in January. In March 2018, I quit my job. Mind you, I quit my job just to have I believe in the course so much after I started taking it and then doing the part where I had to make my own website and my own experience, that I said, I need time just to learn this. So I saved up money, my tax money came, I quit my job just to put in the time to learn and make myself better. Then that was in March. In May, so March, April, May, I got AdWords certified. So to me, I was big. I was like, wow, I'm AdWords certified. It's excellent. Now let me try to look for an internship. That's saying, as soon as I got AdWords certified, I got an internship as an SEO specialist. Even though I was more of an SEM, I got it for SEO, but because I did everything in the course, so it made me more well-rounded, had knowledge of all of it. I had a bigger range of jobs that I could apply for because my resume was looking good, and it helped us like see what we needed to do. The job portion of the course helps you know what to do to look for the job and what they look for in you. So when I did that, I did that for a month. Then I put that on my resume, and I got another internship that wasn't, and that one was remote. I went to an agency, now a startup agency, and I became an SEO, a digital marketer. So now I'm doing all of them. I'm doing SEO, I'm doing SEM, and I did that, and I worked for free for I think 5 months, and like just to soak, I wanted to have clients on my resume now. I was just building my resume. Mind you, if I would have just did the part where like you teach us how to go build, after we make our website, how we could approach local businesses and add that to, and then generate those experiences and contact business owners. If I would have did that, then I probably could have even got it even faster. But I was a little scared. I was like, hey, like I wasn't confident yet. And then it's like, but these jobs was confident for me, because when I would speak about digital marketing, I would see myself like in an out of body experience. I'm looking at myself talking to these people, and they're like, yo, man, you perfect. And I'm like, wow, really? They don't know that I've been doing it for like 6 months. They think that I've been doing it for a long time. When I say how long I've been doing it, they don't get intimidated. Oh, well, you haven't been doing it for so long. They're intrigued, because they're like, you only been doing this for like 6 months, and this is how much you know already? Like, I just had an interview with somebody that went to college that has a degree in this, and they have like 1 month of experience. And now I'm talking to you, and you have 6 months of experience, and it seems like you went to college for this for 4 years. So they like, yeah, man. Like, so I did that. I got a mentor. He helped me through everything. But at the time, there was a startup, and they were paying me, but they was transitioning to paying me, but they couldn't really pay me. So like, and I always had the plan of like learning from wanting the internship and then taking that and going to like a corporate job. So then in November, still the same year, 2018, I get my first real agency job, like 50K plus. Mind you, in 2017 in December, I was getting paid $11 an hour, and now 50K plus. Like, in a whole big, working in Manhattan on the main street, right next to the biggest Macy's in the world on 34th Street, like the main like attraction. Like, got that job. I cried when I got it. Like, I can't believe this. Like, it's real. This is not a disclaimer. I'm not a paid actor. I am just as real as everybody else. Looking at other testimonials, I had no experience. All I did was believe in me and believe in Seth and what he was giving to me. And I realized how much of a gem that was. Mind you, at that point, it was only $100, right? I kept the course for 6 months. I had already finished the course, and I kept it for 6 months because it just gave me reassurance. Like, all right, you learn something, then you practice it, then you go back, and every time I would go back, the course would get easier and easier and easier until like I was 100% done with it. But it's like, even when you know that you have the material, it's like I didn't have Seth, like I didn't talk to Seth directly, but Seth was my best friend. Like, he was the one that was there with me when I quit my job. Like, I felt like I knew him, and I never had spoken to him before. He was there, so it's like when I finally stopped paying for the course, I was like, oh man, Seth, man, I'm gonna keep in touch with you, man. I love you, man, because he was there. Like when you take the course, you feel it's in plain English. You don't feel like he's not like doing these math equations and like you super confused and you get intimidated. Like you see yourself in him. Like wow, like he's a regular person that mastered this craft, and he actually is helping you master the craft. So, and what I made $50K. And I only invested what, $600. So my investment of $600 made me go from $11 an hour to $50K.
Let's take a step back from the money for a second. I wanted to talk about this. So, how old are you?
I'm 29.
29. So you got into this at 26. So you're still you're still, believe it or not, young and very early in your career. But just tell me a little bit more about the impact on your life of this entire transition for you in terms of your happiness and your enjoyment of life, that kind of a thing. How has that impacted you?
Man, I'm a big mama's boy. And I love my father. I lived with both my parents, and just seeing me succeed the way I succeed, they know how they raised me, and then to see what I accomplished, and all my other family members and friends, the feeling of it is like, wow, Nick is like, dude, he's killing it. They remember when I was saying, I'm gonna just quit my job and just do this, and nobody knows what that is. And some people was like, man, bugging out, man. You don't know what this thing is. I never heard of this thing. You need to just keep your job, bro, or go back to college. So it's like they know the struggle, and then to see me do what I did and how I did it and how I did it so fast. And it's like exactly what I said I was going to do, which I said I was going to do, but the course said it could help me do. And then I did it. I feel really good and happy that when people acknowledge me, wow, you really did what you had to do. Then I'm able to support me and my girlfriend, and my girlfriend has a good job too. And my parents, and being able to give back to them because they've been doing so much for me for my whole life. Now I'm able to help them when they in their time of need. It's crazy, and it made me more of an adult. I was still living with my parents at 26, so it's it made me grow up even faster because now I'm able to do my own apartment. I'm already thinking about buying a house now. The next thing is a car. I could have been got a car, but you live in New York, you don't have to have one. So that's why I didn't do it. But now I have so many options, and it makes me happy because now I don't have to jump at opportunity. I create the opportunity, and then some people see opportunity and they just and they feel like it's for a limited time. And if I don't do this right now, it's I'm gonna lose out and I'm never gonna be nothing in life. But getting this skill as a digital marketer, I don't have to jump at opportunity. I just create it whenever I need it. Whenever I need something, I can do it. I can use my skills, whether it's to help somebody or whether it's to help me or help another company or teach somebody. It's so many avenues that I'm never worried. And not having that uncertainty that you can't provide or do the things or live the way you want to live. Not having that is everything. It's more important than the money. It's just the uncertain, not having that uncertain. I will never be able to not pay my bills. I will never be out of a job to the point where I can never make money. I'm laid off and now I'm those days are over now.
I was really touched by your story, and I'm very happy for you, and it's great. So thanks for being here, and we'll talk again soon.
All right, man. Thank you so much for having me, and I appreciate you, man. We're gonna keep in touch for sure.
Sounds good, Nick. All right. You have a good night.
You too, man. Later.
Bye-bye.